Because somebody could look at that.
I literally only have like my intro and then part of my body paragraph and that's part.
Well, that's, somebody could look at that, so. What did I? Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna print a second one of yours, okay? So that we'll have 3 copies of yours in the building, all right, Zach? Okay, so if anybody comes on, tell them I'll be back. I'm picking up copies. Well, I made it to Weldon Union and didn't have any problems. That was a miracle. And I walked in the building, and I actually taught with I taught with the principal there for 17 and a half years out at New Hill, so. And his son is there, and his wife works there, so it was kind of fun. And then another student that I taught there is a science teacher, so it was like all these people I knew. Even though it's, I was trying to think, even though it's a very small school, but its size has increased rapidly in the last 5 or 6 years. Good morning. Do you have copies of your essay? Yeah, okay, don't worry. It's not a big deal. Don't worry, I'll print them.
Is it supposed to be an APA format?
No, it's MLA.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we are MLA. It's, in other words, when you see that document in Blackboard, that formatting for this class, that is MLA. Okay, so J.C. Gonzalez? Yes. Okay, all right, hey, I'm getting better. Claire, do you have copies of your narrative? You have 2? Awesome, okay. Well, at least you and Zach are next to each other, so that helps. So what did y'all think of that grammar quiz? Huh? I mean, the grades are looking pretty good. Okay. We're just waiting for Lorenzo and Crosbyton to join us. And then I'll go over the directions. Morning, Abernathy. I'm wearing maroon for Abernathy today. So, no, that's just the shirt I picked out, so it happened to be their colors. When I first started New Deal, that was like the last time we played Abernathy. They hated each other. I don't think they still do, because they're not the same size anymore, but I need to print. I need 2 copies. Okay. Good morning, Crosbyton. Morning, Lorenzo. We're going to be doing the peer revision today. Let me open,
Good morning.
And I'll let you go get yours in a minute. So we're missing Jesse. Okay. I'm so glad she dropped the class, so I don't have to worry about her anymore. All right, Jesse. Oh, my bad. Nobody happens to have a nursing female kitten, do they? I mean, cat. My daughter found a kitten that's under 2 weeks old, and we are hand feeding it with, so, okay. So, let's see here, oh goodness. Is that Crosby K? Cool, I haven't been in that room, I don't think, 'cause I just moved in, I think last year. I used to be up in they've redone their school. Cool, I love the blank wall, that's a good look, okay. Let's look, let me pull up in the peer revision document and just discuss it quickly, so we'll all have an idea what's happening. All right, so what'll happen here is, with peer revision, you're gonna do this twice today. And you should have enough time in class to do it. And so what you will do is, we'll say that JC and Zach are gonna do it, 2 students here. And so JC will read you will read Zach's paper aloud to Zach, out loud. And he will follow along on his copy. So one of the things that happens in this, grammar is oral. You are corrected, grammar's corrected as you grow by people saying, your parents go, no, don't say that, say this. I do that with my grandsons and it drives them crazy. And their mother happens to be a certified English teacher. She's a diagnostician now for LIC, but we're constantly correcting that. And they just kind of look at me like, and hey, you have to live with it when somebody does this all the time. So you're gonna read it to him, and you won't say anything as you read along, you will read what's written. We tend to, when we write, we will correct it in our minds to what it should be, because we wrote it and that's what we meant to say. Like I'm sitting here thinking I've typed Y-O-U''RE, and I'll have typed Y-O-U-R. And thank heavens I go back and read, because it's really embarrassing when the teacher gets it wrong, right? So we do that. So you will pair up with another person and you will do that, and then he'll read your essay to you, and so that if you read it aloud, you will, like I said, fix it, but if somebody else reads it, you're to read what's written there, and don't stop in the middle and make comments, okay? Just go through it slowly, okay? And that's what we're gonna do. And when you're done, you've got that page to fill out that looks like, let me turn it over here, and really this is what this says, that this is all about the instructions. You'll fill out the rest of the document and return the document that you fill out to the student whose paper that you read aloud and what you thought of it, okay? So, and what you're supposed to look at afterwards, is there organization? Is there an introduction? Is there a thesis? Are there body paragraphs with topic sentences? That's not a tough question, is it? Okay. Then content style. Does the essay show that the writer has a knowledge of the audience? Are they talking about things that you can understand, or do they explain things you might not understand? Like those who are writing about hunting and cars need to explain, they need to give you some. Is it appropriate and adequate? Is it most of a draft? Obviously yours is not. So she will probably say, you need more, is what you're gonna hear, right? And that's acceptable. Is the language convincing, clear, and concise? They don't begin to do stuff, okay? We begin to pack our bags. Then we finish packing our bags. Then we began our journey, and then we continued our journey. Don't begin, just do it. And then check for fanboys. Look for all the for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Okay, check for those and make sure that they're punctuated correctly on both sides, and that there's not an awubis. You have a copy of that too now. Are there any sentences that are particularly long, that go past 1.5 to 2 or more lines, that have no internal conjunction? I'm trying to give you clues to look at. When you get a really long sentence that takes up a couple, 2, 3 lines, that's when you might run into some grammar errors or punctuation errors. And circle all the pronouns. If it's pronoun heavy, you have a problem. You got a lot of pronouns in yours. I just noticed that when I pulled it up. My eye goes to that automatically. You got a lot of pronouns. Nouns are better when we're writing, because nouns give us, they're concrete. A pronoun, we are not sure what the gender of the kitten is in our house. And so we call it he, we call it she, we call it it. So we go he, she, it. We're not sure. So it's much better if you have something to give it. So what did you like about the narrative? Underline your favorite sentence. And then remember to be thorough and consistent with your comments. Don't take over the paper. You are not an expert. Even though some of you may think you're pretty good at this, you're not experts. It's not your job to make it sound like how you would make it sound. It's your job to refine what they've written and make it be consistent. The only person who gets to make those other kind of comments is me. And because, that's my job. I've always thought being an editor might drive me crazy, so that's what you're going to do. Now, when you're done, you only get half of the revision credit comes through doing this activity. The other half's going to come, and it's due tonight by midnight. When you go into, you've got to remember where everything is. This is week 4, right? Okay, September 20th. it's gonna say, when you look at the schedule, let me back this up, make it bigger, okay. It's gonna say, with the peer revision, comments due by midnight to Blackboard, right here. So when, you're gonna see peer revision comments on narrative, right under here. In the comments box, please tell me who revised your essay and what you thought of their comments. So, Zach can go, JC didn't tell me anything good. I don't have, she's not gonna see it, the only person who's gonna see it's gonna be me. Or you can say, gosh, JC did a great job, I want her to look at my paper again. You can do that. She gave me some helpful tips. That's what you can say. But you have to have two different people you're talking about, so you need to know their names. Claire and Zach, JC and Megan, we need to know our names, okay? There's only 4 of y'all, and I know everybody at your schools, y'all know each other, so that shouldn't be an issue. But you need to give me their names, because I won't have any clue who did it. And that's worth, let me see, let's go in and see what it's worth. Should tell me here somewhere. Oh, it's worth 12.5 points. So you got 12.5 points for turning in the draft, and then you get 12.5 points for telling me whose papers you read, okay? And that's due by midnight. Now, if you don't get it done until tomorrow, I'll probably be lenient this first time, okay? But you just go, when you do it, you go in to due date, and just don't even go in there, go into comments. Don't write, if you write in the submission, I'm not gonna count off, but comments shows up for me over on the left-hand side, and I can just glance down at it in the box, I put the grade ins right above it, that's all. That's why I said do it in comments, but if you do it in submission, not a problem. Do not write it in a separate document and upload it. Just do it in submission or comments. Comments preferably, okay? And so you get 12.5 for having turned it in, 12.5 for telling me who read your papers, okay? So I'm gonna tell you where your copies of yours are at. So go down this hallway over here, and you'll see a hallway shooting off, and it looks like there's a door going outside. Once you get almost to that door, if you look to the right, you'll see highways both going this way, the length of the building, but you'll notice that the far one looks like it's going down into some kind of teacher's lounge. That's where the copier is, and the papers, the copies of yours should be sitting in the copy machine.
In the teacher's lounge?
It's not like a teacher's lounge at a school. No, because really nobody teaches in this building except for me and some medical people. And all those kids, go down this hall, you'll see one hall shooting that way, and you'll see doors that go to the outside, and then just take a right in there and go down, and you'll see the copy machine. Okay? And nobody's gonna question you and ask what you're doing.
Okay.
It just means I don't have to run out of class, so, that's what we're doing, so you and JC and Zach will work together, or if you wanna give a copy, and Megan doesn't have one today, but she could read yours to you, and you can work with JC to start off with, okay?
Do you want me to keep his?
Yes, I want you to go ahead and look at his. The more we read, the more it will help us, okay? Now, let me hit cancel on that. See if I've got a message from Jesse. Or have you heard from Jesse?
No.
Okay. I'm assuming you know Jesse, right?
Yeah.
Kinda? Okay. Not just in class?
Just in class.
Just in class, okay. But do you have each other's numbers?
No.
Well, that's the recommendation, so that if something happens in class and you don't wanna mess with me, cause I'm not gonna really tell you if you're not in class, I'm gonna say you need to watch the video, okay? But if you have another person's cell phone, or you can call them and say, hey, what do we do? I missed it. I had a flat tire, I overslept, whatever. That's okay. It doesn't mean anything, it just means you're expanding your circle of friends, okay? So if you want to, Megan, you and Claire can go ahead and start, okay? Nothing from Jesse yet. Okay. And JC will be back in just a second. See, nobody looked at you strange or anything, did they? So it's got your 2 copies plus a cover sheet. You can keep that and use it as scratch paper, the cover sheet. It just
Also, I had a question.
Okay.
I always down my paragraphs, but for some reason
Are you
when
working?
I update it always it doesn't have
I've got your document. No,
Yeah,
is it saved as a PDF?
yes.
And that's part of the problem why I can't do anything to it. Well, you and Zach can go ahead and start, and
On here, it's all.
yeah, it is. Okay. you're writing in Word, why'd you say this would be?
Premiere.
So are you going to do it online?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, good, I'll save as real quick. Okay, save as. Download copy. Okay. Okay.
And then it would just appear, right?
Yeah, and then once you send that one to me, and of course message, okay?
Okay.
So that's how you do it. PDF is an obvious option. The online Word Office is a bit of an issue. It's better if it's on the computer, but you do have when it says just save a copy, you'll see up there it tells you that it's a Word document. And it may be with by changing it to a PDF that's what's lost, okay? So, Megan, you and Claire, you gonna read to her? Oh, yeah, you read out loud because grammar is oral. That's why, grammar is oral, so you read out loud, so it gets a little noisy. And so JC and Zach will do the same thing.
Wait, so are we reading their paper to them, or are they reading their paper to us?
No, you read her paper to her. You don't ever read your paper out loud because you will make the corrections. You will make it read like what you thought it read. Whereas somebody else reading your paper, they will read what's written. And you follow along. So as they're reading it, if they say something different than what you have written down, that's a clue to you that you need, that something's in there that you need to fix. No, you revise on your copy of your essay. But if you wanna circle things you think might be wrong, you can, yes. But don't, do it in pencil or pen, don't make it a whole lot. But that's why you have the other page so that you can write down comments on that if you need to, okay?
So are we supposed to write, so her revision goes on the paper, right? On the,
Your comments go on that revision page, unless you come across, if you think there's a lot of comma splices or whatever. Yeah, and that's why there's two pages, because you're supposed to do two essays, so, okay? Yeah, I printed enough for it so everybody could do two back there.
like, we're not finishing energy. Unless they say something different. Having $1 million can show your true character. You could either go out and spend it all on yourself to help others. Like I said, we all know that if someone were given $1 million, however, if I'm going to invest a quarter of the money, help the homeless, pay dogs that are abused and neglected, support issues. The reason I spend my money is that investing a little bit of it will be smart for my future and helping others down the be a dream of mine. But so I would like to be future and family future. Investing $250,000 would be a great way to earn more money and pay for my kids' college. Once I can earn more, put money in grow, not just sit there. On a certain day, every week, money would be put out of my account, added to another job, and just continue to get bigger. This would help my future in many ways, even though it may be a slight risk. What I would really like to do is help others animals, others such as homeless people, cancer patients, and animals such as dogs. This would truly be a dream of mine because I know there are so many people out there who are struggling and cannot afford feeding them. And cancer patients who need money for all their treatments and expenses because they can't afford it. Saving abused and neglected dogs would absolutely fill my heart. They are most adorable, and all they need is food and shelter to survive. One interest of mine would be to help the homeless. My plan is to get them out of the shelter, out of the shelter in no time, but while earning it. I would start out by building several shelters that have about 3 floors, 200 patients, and I would provide them with free clothes until they get back on their feet again. And if not, they would have a whole year to stay at the shelter. I would also supply food and transportation for them, but only if it is somewhere useful, like applying for jobs. This will be technology for us to use to apply for jobs with very strict rules and get touch. Overall, to help the homeless in one way, I would love to spend $1 million. Another interest of mine. Another interest of mine would be to save dogs that have been abused and neglected. Each year, there are about 6,000 cases of dog abuse and about 3.3 million cases of animals. Having $1 million would create a change to this, and I could have saved so many lives that are in need. First, I would start with how it looks like in multiple shelters around the country that include vaccines, shots, medical equipment, child walkers, and dog sitters. Lots of homes, streets, and lights. Not only will they receive all that, but I will provide them with comfy beds and make them loved and feel at home. Most importantly, I will spend my morning supporting kids with cancer and making their lives better than just being in the hospital room. The idea of making their lives a little bit more fun would be to build a water park inside add stories that the kids like and create to get to know each other group for them to interact with one another. To help families with the kids, I would like to donate money to help with hotel fees, food expenses, and everything else that comes along with having a child with cancer in the hospital. In conclusion, even though the easiest choice and the $1 million scholarship, you must follow what's near to your heart. For me, having $1 million would benefit not only myself, but also others around me. I know I can't say much, but you should put in common with a period and forming like a sentence. So the repetition in there. You know, 'cause you would say that you would want to help cancer people, and say you want to say cancer again, how you, you know, that was pretty cool. And then again, I hear like the one up high, but I agree with you. It's not too many pauses. It's just, calm.
Okay, and after y'all get done, then, one of you can work with Megan, one of you can work with, Claire. I was gonna say Callie for some reason, I was like, Callie? Okay.
Unless you need it to like make decisions.
Are we supposed to take our pizza back?
Huh?
Are we supposed to take our pizza back?
Yeah, yeah, and his comments too, so now you've got another clean copy for someone else to read aloud, you know what I'm saying?
So I think it's that you just
the good news was I finished all of the paragraphs before my daughter brought home the kitten on Saturday night. But it's doing pretty good. It actually slept all last night and all the night before. Oh, how cool. Do you have, are you rooming with someone for Monday?
Yes. Including me, and one of them.
Oh, South Lake Carroll in Dallas? Did y'all know him, or is this?
No, because they all go to Tech, and so, one of the girls from South Lake was roommate.
Okay, that's cool. So you're living in one of those on the east side of Tech?
Yeah, I'm living at the Holly,
Okay.
right next to Public.
I don't know the names of all those places, but I know that, yeah, there are. That all used to be jicky little apartment complexes that I lived in when I went to Tech. Okay. I just don't even know what to think. And once you get done, you can leave. That's the good news. Not you guys. You guys have to stay in school. I want you to, do it. Okay, so before you leave, on Wednesday, you need to bring a full, clean copy of your essay, and we're gonna do what's called deep peer revision. You're gonna sit there and we're gonna look at it for grammar, punctuation, mechanics, organization, we're gonna do all that. It's kind of a boring process, but this one we can do it on. We won't do it on all of them, but this one we will, okay? So be sure you have a copy of it. You don't turn it in, you just bring a copy with you, and I'll have a document on how to do deep
So copy of
into-
the draft and a copy of.
make changes between now and then. Yes, revise from what you heard today. And then, just as another heads up, on Thursday, you've got to do quizzes over chapters 6 and 7. Opens up at 8, closes at midnight. And then the final, that's on Thursday, and then on Friday, you have the final of the narrative due. But I probably won't start grading them until next week, because I'll be traveling to Health Center this week, so. I'll be driving through Abernathy and Newville, so. I'm trying to do all my 8 AM classes first, because I have to leave early to get to those 8 AM classes. I am kind of just flying through your drafts right now. So if I misspell something in my comments, just forgive me, because I'm trying to go through, there's, in this class I have how many? I have 31 in this class, so this is my biggest section. I'm so excited that that's what it's at too, and not 40. I mean, I've had some classes with 44 in them on the ICD. Mhm. Well, I'd have 25 at like Newville, and then, 5 and 10, and it's like, that's a lot, so. I'm about 30 to 35 less than I normally have in ITV.
Oh, wow.
I'm okay, it's okay. You guys have a good rest of the day? Warm in here. If I hear from Jesse, you check your course messages, I may send you one in the mail, but, what you need to do is on peer revision, on those comments you found out, you need to tell me the papers you looked at and what you thought of them. Okay. So you did Claire and JC? Okay. So that way you'll get credit for having done that. So just put it in here? Just go into where it says peer comments on revision, or comments on peer revision, and you just go in and say, I didn't have my draft, but I looked at so-and-so and so-and-so, and this is what I thought, okay? And what you saw is gonna help you with yours, right? Yeah. You said you wanted to ask me something.
I think if that helps me now that I know I don't have to necessarily.
Yeah. You can have a 5-paragraph essay, but you can have 3 on those, okay?
That helps. I thought I had to have 3 topics that I talk about within my one.
Not on this one. It'll probably be different for the next paper, which is compare and contrast, so. But whenever you have that kind of question, just send me a course message.
Okay.
But go back and check, okay? To see if I respond. Like, somebody sent me a message at 9 o'clock last night. I'm sorry, I'm not on my computer after about 7:30 on Sunday night, so. Particularly since I only had 6 hours of sleep the night before, so. I need 7 to 8, okay? I'll see you Wednesday. Bye, Megan. And I'm just throwing out some quick comments on your drafts, so be sure and look at them, okay? Like, never use a question, things like that. So if you use a question, you might wanna go see what I've said. I don't like rhetorical questions. And I keep seeing a lot of second person already.
Your conference is scheduled to end in 2 minutes.